first book on my TBR is The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. I'm currently on page 401 of this, so I won't have any issues finishing it. This one follows Magnus Bane. He is a side character in the Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices series. It's a bunch of short stories about him. Planning on finishing this first, just then it's out of the way. Next up is my Kindle read, and that's The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. I'm currently on page 46, which is 13% of the way through the book. I won't have any issues finishing this one either. This one goes very quickly. I've just been reading a chapter a day just so I don't lose my Kindle reading streak. So I'm gonna finish this one this morning as well. The audiobook that I'm currently listening to is Cursed by Marissa Meyer. This is the same author that wrote the Lunar Chronicles, which were really popular a few years ago. This one is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. It's following a girl. She falls in love with a ghost who can spin gold. That's pretty much all you need to know about it. I'm currently 32% of the way through this one. I don't know how far I'll get in this. I know that there will be some audiobook time throughout the day today, but I'm not going to set a goal for this. I don't think it's realistic to try and finish it. After I'm done with the Bane Chronicles and the Christmas Tree Farm, I will probably pick up The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. I don't know what I'll be in the mood for, but I'm guessing a fast-paced thriller is going to be good for my first 24-hour readathon, so I'll probably jump into that one. I do want to make some progress in Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, also by Cassandra Clare. This one is on my January TBR. I'm gonna try and get through at least a couple of the short stories today, just so I can make some sort of progress in this as well. Again, TBR is not super set in stone. I don't know if I'll be able to finish all of these and then another. I've not done this before, so we will see. First official update of the readathon. We are 2 hours in. I've been reading consistently for the last 2 hours, and I finished the Bane Chronicles. This book is 507 pages long. I read from 401 to 507 and then finished this. I enjoyed this one overall. The last half was definitely a lot better than the first half. I much prefer the Mortal Instruments series to the Infernal Devices, which I think is kind of an unpopular opinion, but I love those characters a lot more than the Infernal Devices characters. So it's always fun seeing like Alec and Clary and Jace, especially Alec and Magnus together. I've read 20 pages of The Christmas Tree Farm on my Kindle so far. I'm only on page 62, but I think it said it's 18% of the way through. And then I listened to my audiobook a little bit while I was getting breakfast ready, and I'm now at 35% of the audiobook. We're making decent progress. It doesn't feel like I've been reading at all. This is pretty typical to what my mornings look like on the weekends anyway, so it doesn't really feel like I'm doing anything different than normal. Tanner and I are planning on going to a coffee shop in just a little bit. I'm finishing up breakfast right now. Bacon is in the oven, then I'm gonna make some eggs. We're gonna go and get some lattes. He's probably gonna do some work, potentially read. I love when we read together. It's cute to me. But I'm just gonna be reading all day. Hopefully gonna finish The Christmas Tree Farm while we're at the coffee shop. I don't think it's gonna take me that long. The Kindle says that it'll take me like 3.5 hours, but I've also been reading it pretty sporadically, so my pacing is a little bit off. I'm guessing that it'll take me about 2.5 more hours to finish The Christmas Tree Farm, and then we'll get to move on to our next book. I am currently 5 hours into the timer, and I have grossly underestimated how long this is gonna take me. I've never done one of these before, so it's it's a lot of time. 24 hours is a long time, but I have made very good progress. I am currently on page 281, which is 76% of the way through The Christmas Tree Farm, and this one is my favorite one of the 3 so far in the series. I think this one was a little bit more slow burn. It took until 50-ish% before they really even got together, which I really appreciate. I prefer a slow burn. I don't like insta-love. I don't like when things move too quickly with the characters, so I am actually really enjoying this one. And the setting is fun, the small town vibes are really fun. I am enjoying this one a lot. I'm gonna take the dog for a walk and then work out, so that should take me about an hour and a half. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook the whole time, so I'm gonna hopefully be at 7 hours, 6.5 hours of reading time after I'm done with that, and then I'll come back and finish this book, and then we'll start the next book together. The further that I get into this book, the more it just feels like a ripoff of the Love Light Farm series. The love interest in this book, his name is Bennett. In one of the Love Light Farms books, it's Beckett. And then there's a baker in this one. There's a Christmas tree farm owner. There's a normal, like, produce farmer, plant guy, like in Love Light Farms. So similar, and it's pretty much the same concept in a different little small town. I don't know, it just feels weird to me. Like, the more that I'm reading it, the more similar it's feeling. I have vowed to myself, though, because I read so many books, I need to not compare them to each other. I know that's, like, partly impossible, but I also just need to, like, remember this is its own separate book. It doesn't have to be like the other books. Like, if I hadn't read the other ones, I wouldn't have made the connections. So, like, they're their own books in their own way, and I know that. I just need to remember it because it just takes the enjoyment out of it for me, and I need to not do that, or else I'm just gonna hate every book, because not every single book is even possible to have its, like, very own, very unique, like, set of characters, plot, setting. There's no way. There's gonna be similarities no matter what books I'm reading, so I just need to give myself a little bit of grace with that, I think. Otherwise, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go insane. We just got to the conflict resolution, and the letters. The letters get me. I love texts and emails and letters in books. I think that they are so cute, and this one was really well done. Props to you, author. I just finished book number 2. The only criticism, okay, not the only criticism. One criticism that I do have, I can't get on board with the nickname Peaches. Ew. Peaches? That's so cringe, bro. So if it was a different nickname, that would have been preferable. But I need to pick which book I'm gonna start next. I have my January TBR that I talked about in my TBR video in here in a little collection on my Kindle. I'm leaning towards The Housemaid just because I think I need something fast-paced. A mystery would probably be good. 7 hours and 3 minutes into the readathon, and we are starting book number 3. All of her books are pretty fast-paced. Her writing style is very easy to read. So I'm gonna see how much of this I can get through tonight. Currently 8 hours and 46 minutes into the readathon and 39% of the way through The Housemaid, and you're telling me that you're just going to a, like, fancy Broadway musical with this man who you have a crush on, who you work for, then you're gonna stay at a hotel and you think that nothing's gonna go wrong. Like, use your brain. Just use your brain. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing good is gonna come from this. Like, at all. Good morning, everyone. I'm currently 53% of the way through The Housemaid, and I am really liking it. I think it's very readable. I'm excited to see what the twist is. I've read a lot of Freida books, so I kind of have an inkling of what I think it's going to be. There's probably going to be something with the characters obviously aren't who we think they are. I think that maybe there's going to be some role switching or like a role reversal thing between the characters. So I'm interested to see kind of how that goes, but I am really liking it so far. I am now at 10 hours and 34 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna try and make some good progress today. This will definitely bleed over into like Monday and probably a little bit of Tuesday just because I do work Monday and Tuesday, but I will get to the full 24 hours. I guarantee it. So my plans for today are to finish The Housemaid. I'm probably going to jump right into the second Housemaid book, see how far I can get in that. We're planning on going to a coffee shop again today. We haven't been to this one yet, so the one that we went to yesterday is like our go-to coffee shop. We love the vibes there and we like all the workers, but we haven't been to the one that we're planning on going to today. I'm gonna hopefully get about the same amount of reading done again today. Getting a little bit of a later start. It's currently 9:48. By the time that we actually get there and actually get kind of like settled in, it'll probably be like 10:30. I have made basically no progress on the timer today. I'm currently at 12 hours and 31 minutes, so over halfway. So that's good. I just finished The Housemaid, and I do understand the hype. It was very good. It was very well written. I think it's my favorite Freida book, honestly. I did predict the twist though, so I don't know if I can give it a full 5, just because I did predict it. The point of a thriller is to not be predictable. I'm gonna jump right into the second book, which is The Housemaid's Secret. I'm hoping to make decent progress in this today. Again, didn't read that much today, which is a little unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm very interested to see where this one goes, just because I do think that it could easily be a standalone. Like, I don't know if it needs anything extra. I don't know if it needs a sequel, let alone a sequel, a novella, and another book. I don't know. So we'll see where this goes and how it goes. I'm guessing it's gonna be kind of in the same vein as how the book ended. I guess we'll see. Good morning, everyone. Honestly, day 2 was kind of a wash. It was kind of a fail. I am currently 13 hours into the timer. I got to page 34 of The Housemaid's Secret. It's not going at all how I was expecting it to. I know that the timeline is a little bit different than book 1, so I think this one takes place a few years after book 1 does. So I was expecting it to be immediately after, which it's not, but it's okay so far. I definitely prefer book 1 to this one. I don't know where the plot is gonna go with this. I don't really understand where we're going yet, but again, I'm only 34 pages in. So it's currently like 7:45. I work at 9. So I'm gonna try and read for about an hour and then read throughout the day, like on my breaks and my lunch break and stuff. And we'll follow back up after work and see where I'm at. Been like 10 minutes of me reading, but we did find out that our main character Millie, I guess, was in a relationship with one of the characters from the previous book, so I'm guessing that that's kind of where this is going. We're gonna see how that played out and how she got to where she's at now. That's the only thing I can think of that it would be, because right now this does not feel like book 1 at all. It doesn't even feel like the same character, so I'm interested to see where we end up, just because I'm kind of confused right now. I just got done working for the day. It's dark and depressing outside because it's so gloomy. It's been raining all day today, but I did make some progress throughout the day. I'm currently at 14 hours and 49 minutes left in the timer. I'm gonna try my best to hit 20 hours by the end of the day today. I'm gonna hopefully not go to sleep until I hit 20, so then I only have 4 left and I can do that all tomorrow. I got to 73% of the way through my audiobook, which is Cursed by Marissa Meyer. It's actually getting pretty good. I haven't really updated much about the audiobook, just because it is book 2 in the series, but this is the Rumpelstiltskin retelling. The part that I just finished listening to was like very fairy tale, like very cool. The way that it was set up was very interesting. So I really am enjoying it. It won't be more than a 3-star. So me saying that I'm really enjoying it isn't like crazy, but it is pretty good. So I listened to that when I worked out over my lunch break, just did a quick little leg day. Nothing too crazy, just like 40 minutes, but technically 2 times speed, walking back and forth, blah, blah, blah. I'm at 73%. I did make some progress in The Housemaid's Secret as well. I'm not liking this one as much as book 1. I'm just not. I don't really like where it's going. I'm currently 35% of the way through, which is to page 101. I'm about to start chapter 25. I can say I do love short chapters. I love a good short chapter. I do still have 5 hours of reading to do. I'm probably just gonna try and power through the rest of the series. There's only the novella and then like the 3rd book left. Overall, this 24-hour reading experience thus far has been eye-opening. This is taking a lot longer than I was expecting. I am surprising myself with how fast I'm reading, because I finished the Bane Chronicles. Granted, that was only 100 pages. I've made some really good progress in my audiobook, which granted I'm just listening to, so that's not too crazy. I finished The Housemaid, which was a like normal sized book, and then now I'm on to book 2 of that, and I'm already 100 pages in, and I still have 9 hours left. That is like so much time to just be reading. I really didn't think that it was going to be this hard because I read so much that I just assumed that it was going to be fine. This is not for the faint of heart. I will not be doing the timer method again, I don't think. I'm gonna go make dinner, listen to the audiobook, and then I guess just power through, try and get 5 more hours of reading done. Happy Tuesday, officially day 4 of this 24-hour readathon. I have 19 hours and 12 minutes up on the timer, so we're so close. We are almost to 24 hours, and I just finished my audiobook, Cursed. Why was I crying? That was a very good ending, and I'm really glad that I listened to it. That's a series that I had physically for years, and I just never read for some reason. I don't know why I never read them, maybe because I've never heard anybody talking about them, but they were really good. The first one wasn't my favorite. I don't think that the writing style of the first one was great personally, but I really did like book 2. If you like fairy tale retellings, I would definitely recommend reading the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, and then this one, which is called Gilded. I liked the ending a lot, and the fairy tale aspects were really fun. I don't typically love like fairy tale books, but overall I really enjoyed the characters in the second one. I think there was a lot of development from the beginning of book 1 to the end of book 2, and the tears, man, I don't know, I couldn't handle it at the end when like everything was coming together, and it was literally the last like 10 minutes of the audiobook. I'm gonna pick out my next audiobook just so I have something to listen to while I walk the dog. But last night you also saw that I finished The Housemaid's Secret and did not like it as much as I liked book 1. I also kind of predicted what was gonna happen, but not the exact twist. So that was kind of fun. And while I was laying in bed trying not to fall asleep, I started The Housemaid's Wedding. So this one is just a very short novella. I'm gonna try finishing it today before work. I guess we'll see where today goes. I can almost guarantee that I will not finish the timer today. On Tuesdays we do like game night with some of our friends, so I know that we're gonna be doing that right after work. I don't know when this will be done. Maybe tomorrow. I'll do my best. But I think that this is a pretty accurate representation of what it looks like for like a normal reader to do this. Again, I'm someone that has a full-time job. I don't just read all day. I wish I could. Maybe eventually that'll be the plan. I do have other stuff going on, so I think it's nice to see like a normal person do something like this, because I did not think it was going to take me 4 or 5 days. But here we are. Excuse the lighting coming in from the blinds. I did finish The Housemaid's Wedding. I finished right before work, so we currently have 19 hours and 38 minutes on the timer. We're so close to 24 hours. So I think I'm just gonna jump into The Housemaid is Watching, just finish the Housemaid series. Might as well, right? I did not like The Housemaid's Wedding. It was kind of a pointless addition. Did not enjoy it. Didn't like that she literally was gonna marry this man and didn't tell him anything that was happening on the day of their wedding. Like, calm down, move on. So I'm gonna start The Housemaid is Watching on my first break. It's currently 10:38. I'll probably take a break here, maybe within the next hour, read for about 15 minutes. This book is 364 pages. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it within the next like 4.5 hours for the timer, just because this one says that it's supposed to take like 7 hours to read. I don't know, I guess, where I'm thinking it'll even go. Probably follow something similar. She'll probably find herself in the exact same issues that she's had in the last 2 books, but we'll see. I know that this one is like everybody's least favorite, so I'm not really looking forward to that, but I am excited to like finish the series. It's kind of fun reading them back to back. I've never really done that with any series. I usually take a break or rotate in between. That's why I'm in the middle of so many series. 20 hours and 52 minutes on the timer. We are almost there. Like 3 hours left. We can do it. This morning I started listening to a new audiobook when I was walking Caillou. This one is How to Walk Away by Katherine. I've read a few of her books and I really like her writing style, so I got 6% of the way through this one and I'm gonna take the dog on another walk. I think that this is my favorite type of contemporary fiction now, kind of like adult fiction, I guess. I don't know if this is considered literary fiction, maybe like women's lit or something, but I feel like I connect the best now with this type of storyline. Now that I'm getting older, I don't connect as much with young adult books, especially young adult contemporary, personally. I still like reading them, but I haven't really loved any of them super recently, but I am really liking this one so far. Basically, it's just following this woman who thinks that her boyfriend is going to propose. He is going to be a pilot. She's terrified of flying, has been terrified of flying forever. So they go on this like date. He proposes while they're flying in his plane. And then chapter 1 ends with a plane crash. I'm currently 24% of the way through The Housemaid is Watching. I'm not really sure where this is going. It doesn't really seem to have a plot so far. It's just like domestic life, which is fine, but not anything like the other books. I currently have 21 hours and 36 minutes on the timer. I will be finishing today. We're headed to a coffee shop here soon. Tanner's finishing up a meeting for work right now. I'm gonna read until he's done, and then we'll go, and then I will finish this freaking timer. I'll finish it, and then I will do a wrap up, and I'm really glad that I did this overall. I think I got a lot of reading done, even though it took me way longer than I was expecting it to. It's been fun. So it's been nice keeping you updated and keeping me accountable with everything. So again, 21 hours, 36 minutes. Gonna do some reading now. I would finish off this video with a review / little recap of everything that I got done in the 24 hours. I did it. It took me like 5 days, but I did it. I got 24 hours of reading done and I made really good progress. So the first book that I finished was The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. I only had 100 pages left of this, so I did read those 100 pages. Some of the stories in this book took place during the Infernal Devices series, and then some took place during the Mortal Instruments. Some were just kind of spread out around. Overall, I did really enjoy this one. I am excited to continue with the series. Next, I finished The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. I read 321 pages of this one. I partially started it, so it wasn't technically the full book, but I did finish it during this video. It follows our main character who buys a Christmas tree farm. She tries to get it kind of up and going again. It's like a forced proximity kind of thing. She falls in love with someone that's in the town. I liked it. I gave it 3 stars overall. It was my favorite one of the series so far. I am excited to read the next one when it comes out in March. Next, I finished Cursed, which was the audiobook that I was listening to. I listened to 77% of the audiobook during the 24-hour readathon, so most of it was completed during the time of the readathon. It's book number 2 in the Gilded series by Marissa Meyer. This one is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I liked it overall. Book 2 was much better than book 1. The characters were more developed, there was actually more storyline, and there was plot. I really liked the different fairy tale and fantasy elements that were brought into this one. I gave this one 3 stars. Next up is The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. I read 329 pages, so the entire book, and I gave this one 4 stars. Overall, I did like it. I don't think that it's my favorite one by Freida. I really liked The Inmate the best, and I know that that's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I do see why this one is popular. It really was like a good thriller. Even though I did predict kind of the main twist, I did enjoy it still. I think it was a good book overall, and I would recommend it to other people. I gave this one 4 stars. Then I read The Housemaid's Secret, which is book number 2 in the Housemaid series. This one is 318 pages. Read the whole thing during this 24-hour readathon. I didn't like this one as much. I gave this one 3 stars. I think that this honestly could have been a standalone. I think it should have been a standalone, left a little bit up to the imagination after the fact without being super explicit in what happened. I think it was okay, but overall would probably just stop at book number 1 looking back. Me being me, I know that I would still finish it just because that's what I do. But looking back, overall, I think it could have just been a standalone. Continuing on with the Housemaid series, I read The Housemaid's Wedding. This was just a short 76-page novella. Read the whole thing. I did not like this one. I think it was pointless to the storyline. I think it definitely did not need to be in there. So I give this one 2 stars. I think it was better than a 1 star. I will say that. It followed our main character Millie marrying another one of the characters. That's all. Again, continuing on with the Housemaid series, I got 76% of the way through The Housemaid is Watching. This is the book that I am currently in the middle of. I read 276 pages of this during the readathon, which is pretty good. I'm planning on finishing this today. I don't like this one. This one is my least favorite one so far. It's basically just a domestic life. Like, nothing is really happening. We just got to the twist and I wasn't into it. I wasn't thrilled by the twist. I didn't predict it necessarily, but I also just don't really care at this point. I stand by that this should have been a standalone. So I'm guessing that I'll probably give this one a 2 star. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Again, I still have 25% of this. And finally, I got 36% of the way through How to Walk Away. This is the audiobook that I'm currently listening to. I think I only talked about it one time, but I am really liking it so far. I love Katherine Center's writing. This one follows a girl who gets into a plane crash, and it's kind of following her journey of recovery through that. It sounds kind of dark, but it's very good so far. Again, the writing style is fantastic. I'm guessing it'll probably be a 4 star. I don't foresee it being 5, but I do like where it's going and I like the character development that we're getting. As a final recap, in the 24-hour time frame, I read 1,420 pages physically. I listened to 77% of the Cursed audiobook and 36% of the audiobook for How to Walk Away. I would say that this was a success. It took me a while, like I said, but I really do think that it was a good thing for me to do. It knocked a lot of books out of the way right away at the beginning of the year. I finished 6 books and started another 2, so I'm well on my way to my goal of 100 books for the year. I think it was fun overall. I would definitely do it differently next time. I'm probably not going to do the timer method again. Probably do like 12 hour, just be done with it in 2 days, but good learning experience. So I hope that you enjoyed listening to my thoughts on these books. Please let me know what you thought about any of these books in the comments. I would love to talk about them with you. And I guess I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!